listening to the spiritual vibrations with your host, Sister P. All tune in, including he, she, and the old lady. Styles FM to the world.
Okay, Bobby's Cafe Grill and Bar will be having a Mother's Day cocktail party. Entertainment by Juju Royal and DJ Flair with a guest artist. Admission $1,000. Eat all you can for $1,000. Buffet style. Refreshments on sale. And Bobby's Cafe Grill and Bar is located at 23 West Street, Port Antonio. And this will be on Mother's Day, May 10th. Didn't say what time, Cassidy? Oh, a cocktail party would be in the evening. I didn't get a time here, so is there a number for them? I don't see a number here. But anyway, that's Bobby's Cafe, Grill and Bar, 23 West Street, Port Antonio. Mother's Day cocktail party. Admission $1,000.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
The JCBC presents Miss Portland Festival Queen Coronation Show on Saturday, May 16, 2015 at the Port Antonio High School Auditorium beginning at 8 p.m. Admission, adults $600 pre-sold, $800 at the gate. Children under 12, $200. Ticket outlets, Braham's Texaco Service Station and the JCBC Portland office. Main sponsors include Mayor Wayne McKenzie, Councillor Dexter Rowland, Find Value, Braham's Texaco Service Station, Hotel Timbambo, and Portland Cooperative Credit Union. Come out and support your cultural ambassador.
John, I'm hungry, no man. I want me can get some food, you know.
Then, Virgin, you know, say Harris Construction has now opened them Ocean View Restaurant and Lounge at the Heraldfin Marina.
We are talking about.
And the best part about it, them serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, say, that's a go on?
Yes, man. And you know, say they open from Sunday to Sunday, opening hours 6:30 a.m. to 12 midnight.
So you mean so me can get food anytime then? Wonder what kind of food them have?
Them have a wide variety of food. Them serve seafood, Chinese, Italian, and local dishes.
I have to check you out now then.
Builders Depot, everybody go a Builders Depot. Portland #1 hardware, that's a Builders Depot. You want to fix up your yard? Builders. You could be living abroad? Builders. Hurricane season come? Builders. To make your roof blow down? Builders. We have the best pricing? Builders. And the best parking? Builders. Harbor Dash where we think? And we are carrying the swing.
Builders Depot, right at Industrial Estate Longwall in Barnesby. I call them at 715-3128 or 284-3337. Check them out.
Planning a party, club night out, stage show, a gospel concert, or even a business sales event? Let Styles FM be a part of your promoting tool. Take advantage of our low-priced promotion packages with commercials, interviews, giveaways, reviews, and much more. We have special offers when you mix and match and bundle your options. Contact us at 876-286-9216 or 439-5160. Styles FM for the most effective way to exploit your marketing dollar.
Africa, boy, a Sister P come again, yeah. She teaches us about everything spiritual, Africa and the world work. Sister P, teach them, Sister P.
kadinye Yarabi sukurasa Ulajana kano kadinye Ami sukurasa
Yes, beautiful music from Mali. Mali, of course, is in West Africa. Music from Mali.
Jana kanu mandinye Yarabi sukurasa Shiri sukurasa
Yes, the name of the artist is Kofi B from Ghana, West Africa. The reason I keep doing this is because some people still, they talk, and them still only know Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa. 54 different nations. 54 different nations.
And what you want to do for me? And what you want me to do for you? Yeah. I sell meeting the coffee and the fire. Banana. Yeah, pop, stop, waba. Touch me, wapa, I don't never know. Touch me, yeah, wapa. I don't never know. I don't need my own free mix. Oh, and I'm a seven day in your dana. And I'm a who's in your dana. Touch me, wapa, I don't never know. Touch me, yeah, wapa.
share with the listeners. Nothing sweet like when you exercise to the music here, so. Nothing sweet like it. Matter of fact, even this morning I had a very nice workout to this. Yeah, Soukous music from Democratic Republic of the Congo. Yeah, who says aerobic music only has to be to American music? Not Nagoso. This is the sweetest aerobics music.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration, Styles FM 96.1 with Sister P. It's styly, it's fiery. Jennifer Barrett said that.
Notice hereby given that the annual general meeting of the Portland Cooperative Credit Union will be held at the Old Marina, West Palm Avenue, Port Antonio on Thursday, May 7th, beginning at 2:30 p.m. Registration 1 p.m. Dinner will be served from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Transportation will be provided to and from the Buffalo Valley. Make every effort to attend. Lots of prizes and surprises.
I'm here to see a Sika represent for Styles FM 96.1, 96.5, 96.7.
Check out his single, Wine Baby Wine.
And follow me on Instagram, SYKAH_Dan. Twitter, Sika13. Facebook, SYKAH. You hear that?
Thursday Freedom, Styles FM 96.1. Even the 96.7 FM, you don't know the thing, but every Thursday 5 to 9 p.m. You don't know the thing. Pull up, now what I'm on. I'm rolling case and I'm on there.
For the best quality in sound reinforcement and backlining, Native Audio. We have professional engineers with over 20 years of experience. So call us and we'll take care of your parties, wedding receptions, barbecues, conferences, and small stage shows. Crystal clear sound, Native Audio. Our prices are the best. Call us at 871-5212. That's 871-5212. Native Audio. We make your events audible.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
Okay, we're back. In studio with me is Michelle Donegan, who is the project manager with the Portland Environmental Protection Agency, which we refer to as PEPA. He has been with PEPA for 15 years, and PEPA has actually been in existence 27 years. Long time. The Portland Environmental Protection Agency, while not being the first environmental protection agency, is first community-based environmental protection agency, which later became, and the first in the Caribbean, not just Jamaica. Portland Environmental Protection Agency was the first community-based environmental agency in the entire Caribbean, and actually became a model for other Caribbean countries. Michelle, welcome to Styles FM and to the Spiritual Vibrations program.
Thanks for having me.
Boy, there is so much, so I don't even know where to start, to be quite truthful with you. And I know that Roots Woman will probably be out there putting her, you know who Roots Woman is?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Her name is Naomi.
Yes, she's a member of our board of directors.
Yes, probably a frustrated one, I don't know, but but I know that she is. And what you don't know is that many moons ago, I was given recognition by PEPA for some of the work that I was doing while I was living up in the hills. Okay, what is PEPA's main focus right now?
Our main focus right now is getting a protected area established in Portland. It was one of the initial objectives of the organization. We wanted to get a marine park established. Unfortunately, we were unable to do so, and we decided to cut down the marine park in size and go for smaller targets. So we're trying to get a special fishery conservation area established, and essentially what that is to declare an area in the sea a no fishing zone, so no one is allowed to fish there. And the justification is based on experience in other parts of the island. If you do that for a period of 4 to 5 years, you'll see an increase in fish stock, with Aracabessa being one of the best examples of this.
Okay, now knowing how we are an unruly and undisciplined people, how are you going to get that done? Because I can just hear a fisherman say, oh, but he can't tell me which part fish and which part me can't fish.
It's very interesting because we assumed the same when we started the process last September. And so the first thing we were told by the Fisheries Division, which is the government agency with responsibility for protecting the fishing industry in Jamaica and the interest of the fishers, was that we had to get them on board. So we started the process of sensitization, and we went out and we spoke to them, and surprisingly, a lot of them supported the idea. I think what happened is a lot of them heard what was happening in Orocabessa, and so they felt that Portland was kind of left behind. If you look at what's happening, Portland is one of the few parishes at the moment with no fish sanctuary, so they kind of felt left behind. So they welcomed the idea, and we took a couple of them down to Orocabessa, and they stood on the shore and looked out, and they saw parrotfish swimming around.
Wow.
And they were excited. So that got them starting. Well, not everybody, but most of them started buying into the idea.
Okay, which communities have you been into so far?
We have been to Port Antonio, both in Prospect and in Bournebrook. We have been to Norwich. We have been to Drapers. We have been to Mansion Hill. We have been to Hope Bay, and we have been to Buff Bay.
Okay, because you know I do live in a area where fisher folk, that's their livelihood. That's the livelihood. Probably the only livelihood in the community. Fishing. So is it going well? Is the project going well?
It has met a few hiccups, but it's going well. The public consultation, surprisingly, and when we shared the experience with other folks around the island, they were surprised, was the easiest part. Everybody felt that would have been the most difficult part, but getting the fishers in Portland on board was actually relatively easy. The challenge has been getting the science to catch up with the excitement of the fishers. We had to complete a scientific assessment of a number of sites to see which one was best in partnership with UWI, and that was only recently completed in March. So we have now submitted that, and we have made an official request to have the sanctuary declared. And the second obstacle, and perhaps the greatest now, is funding. The government is not putting as much money as they ought to, or as they used to, into the conservation of fishing of fish sanctuaries. And so the challenge for PEPA now is to identify funds in order to be effectively managing such an area, and we have to show the Fisheries Division that we are able to get those funds before they will say go ahead and manage this area.
I never can understand this country because they have our Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, and just last week I was speaking on this program how the state minister had never been to the Pedro Keys, which is possibly the largest fishing area in Jamaica.
It is.
The minister had never been there. That was his first visit, and that was just last week. So with that kind of attitude, I can understand or understand why they don't really have that much interest in this.
It's been frustrating. I think what has happened is the fishing industry has kind of been left behind. It was part of the Ministry of Agriculture, and I think most of the focus was always on agriculture. It has now worse because it's now been added to the portfolio of Kellier, which is, I think,
agriculture.
Agriculture has been added to Kellier, so it now has agriculture, fisheries, and another ministry. It's not popping to me right now. So fisheries has generally been left behind. The NGOs have been fighting to get that fishing on the front page, and I think the government, while they've taken notice, there's been a significant decline in fish stock in Jamaica. They still have not been able to, they say, identify the funds to do what is necessary.
It's amazing how they can identify funds to fix up the road because the President of the United States is coming, but things that have to do with Jamaicans and the livelihood of Jamaicans, I mean, like, these things are on a back burner. The project that, what's her name, Francesca is doing, does that have anything to do with pepper?
It does.
Okay.
What she has done is she has established a research lab in partnership with UWI at her property in Alligator Head. And what we now have is Jamaica's third marine lab. So it complements Port Royal and Discovery Bay. So you have researchers from UWI coming down to do research. And she also provided some funds to PEPA to assist with the public consultations. And the science, the scientific reports are being done by UE scientists through funding from Francesca. So she's very excited about this. She really wants to have a conservation area up and running. At the moment, the priority site is Sansan Bay, which I suppose being right in front of her property gives her additional incentive.
Yes.
And we're hoping that she's one of the persons that we're hoping will put some funds into Pepper to help manage this initiative.
Now, Marshall, let's just get down to the nitty-gritty and public when we talk about environment. One of the things that I have talked about on this radio, on this program, all the time, garbage. Garbage, garbage. Garbage everywhere. I don't know. I don't remember seeing any public awareness programs. Have there been any?
Not recently. A lot of the programs that we have done has focused on plastic bottles and getting persons to do plastic bottle recycling. We did that a couple of years ago and we had some success, particularly in the schools. We also did some styrofoam education where we got students to stop eating out of styrofoam, and we got a couple of schools to actually ban the use of styrofoams in schools. Unfortunately, that has been restricted to schools, and so generally we've not done much community work on that, and it's an area that we'd hope to launch into. Unfortunately, there's not been a lot of funding support for awareness on solid waste issues.
You actually went into the schools. This excites me because I have a restaurant and I do not use styrofoam. I'm scared to death of this thing. Yet still, most of the restaurants, I don't know what percentage doesn't, but it must be very few, that they don't use styrofoam. So I did not know that you had actually gone into the schools and educated the students about the use of styrofoam. And those projects that you worked on those schools, do you know if they went back to using styrofoam or did they stop?
Unfortunately, some of them did. The smaller schools, particularly the primary schools, were still able to maintain the use of plates to eliminate having to use styrofoam. But for the bigger schools, the high schools, Fair Prospect High being the best example, they got rid of styrofoam. They were using paper boxes and plates. Unfortunately, the availability of paper boxes proved an issue, and so they have unfortunately reverted to the use of styrofoams. But we're trying to encourage persons not to. There's a lot of work being done, particularly by UE, informing persons about all the dangers of styrofoam, including the potential health impacts. So we're hoping to I want to use this forum just to tell people that based on a number of studies, it has been proven that styrofoam has agents that can cause cancer. So as a personal choice, I'm encouraging persons to reduce, if not eliminate, eating from styrofoam containers at the very least.
Masha, I'm so happy to hear that you say that because you're from the Portland Environmental Protection Agency. And all I do on this program is talk about the dangers of styrofoam. So, I know me says so, you know. I know me says so. Is the project manager for the Portland Environmental Protection Agency telling on us say, styrofoam is a killer. A man was telling me one day that he got his lunch from a particular restaurant and he said the food was so hot that by the time he reached where he was going, the food burned out through the plastic and the bottom of the box drop out. So, we're begging you know. The hospital them can't manage it. People can't manage it. Ask the people them not to switch from styrofoam. I happen to know that the boxes are sold in Kingston. Come together as a group. Do something. But it is unfair for people to be killing off people with these styrofoam boxes. So you, the public, you need to educate yourself. It is no good. It is a killer. Along with all of the, not just that, with the chemical seasonings and all the other things that go along with it. So can you imagine by the time all of this junk gets into the styrofoam, it's just double killing, creating cancer. Yes, Marshall. Who is on the board of PEPO?
Well, the board is led by Major John Lamy from formerly of the College of Agriculture, Science and Education. We also have a former mayor, Lieutenant Commander Patterson, Floyd Patterson, Naomi Zuckerman, who you referred to, Margaret Garan, Jackie Neal, Sabine Reddick Bevan, Mrs. Henry, Marcia Henry, and Miss Caroline Gavin from Case.
Okay.
And of course, Mr. Boyd Lewis, our treasurer.
So how active is the program now?
It's
because as a citizen in the parish, I don't hear or see anything.
It's a
and I know that your job has been, how many days a week you work?
I'm at 3 days a week now.
Simply because of funding. Apparently these things are not attractive. They're not sexy, I guess, to whoever it is that gives funding. And this is some of our problems, because if you were doing work like going into the schools and getting rid of styrofoam, I guess that is we're licking somebody, boxing food out of probably Wisynco or whatever mouth. So you're not going to get funding from them. It's all about politics and money and all that kind of stuff. And because people don't understand this burning of even the styrofoam, people are using them things for light fire, you know. Are you aware of that?
I've seen the practice, and I've tried to inform persons about the potential impacts of that, particularly in a country where so many of us have respiratory illnesses.
But we must have respiratory problems, because people picking up all plastic fork and plastic box and all kind of something to light fire, so you must have respiratory problems. People, there's just so many things, I mean, that I see people do that I know they must have respiratory problems. They must. All of this plastic business, burning all of this plastic. That, to me, that is a scary thing. And I always tell myself that if my neighbor decides to burn plastic, we're going to court. Because I think that it is not right. It is not supposed to happen. So, anything else that you want to tell the public about?
Right. Well, funding is always a challenge, and there are a number of ways you can support Pepper, either through attending our fundraisers. So listen out. We'll announce when we're having the next one. If you can come along and participate, that will help. Or if you're interested, you could contact the office 993-9632, or through email. It's pepper.jamaica@gmail.com.
Slowly over that. Slowly for me, please.
.jamaica@gmail.com. You could send an email if you want to contribute to our activities. And to just say that we have...
And the number?
The number, again, is 993-9632. We have not been as visible as we want to, and it's certainly something that Naomi has been very vocal about at board meetings. But very shortly, we'll be out in the communities trying to increase awareness on a pressing environmental issue that is now facing the country, which is climate change. So in the next 6 months, we'll be out doing a number of community activities to get persons in Portland aware of the potential impacts of climate change and how we have to adapt our behavior and our lifestyles if we're going to be able to combat this one.
You know what sometimes concerns me about some of these so-called boards, because some of the people, some boards, the people are actually bored. Am I right or wrong? You don't have to answer that. And we have some of these boards, and I know that somebody like Naomi is so active and so into the environment. But sometimes you have people that are on these boards. Basically, they could care less about the environment, because in their own personal lives, it's not an everyday thing with them. It's nothing that they really care about. But somebody, they go to meetings and somebody elected them to be a board member. And it looks good on a resume. It looks good, you know, to say that and then you go around, yes, I'm a member of the so-and-so and so. I've been on a couple of these boards here in Port Antonio, and I can tell you, waste of time, because the people who are really committed end up being out of place. I remember one time somebody to do with culture, the person who was working in the office looked at me and she says, "Oh, you're a fanatic." Fanatics make change. I keep saying that. Fanatics make change. This was to do with culture. And the person who was paid to do culture I mean, I was so excited to get the opportunity. Now I know that you also have a project where with the turtles, because I know I've seen Naomi working on that. Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, unfortunately, no, that is almost strictly a voluntary process. We used to get funding from NEPA for that, but we're not getting any funds anymore. But that was really a very good project. And what we had done was we trained a number of community persons to monitor when the turtles were coming in and to just do some simple things to try and conserve turtles. I know that there are a number of stories out there about the potency of turtle meat or what the egg can do for particularly the males.
Yes.
But they even though they lay so many eggs, you see a turtle lay 100 and something eggs. Of that, it is estimated that for every 1,000 turtles, hatchlings that go out, only about 1 to 2 survive to become adults. So the laying of the large number of eggs is a defense mechanism. So we have had to be out helping with conservation, and persons would cover the nest so persons don't know where to dig, or to just sit there for the period that the turtle is nesting to ensure that somebody doesn't come along to try and take the turtle for meat. And what's interesting about the turtles is that if a turtle nests at a particular beach, the hatchlings come back to that beach to nest. And the turtles come in a particular cycle. So once you've done the monitoring, you know when they're coming up, and you can go out and wait, and you can see them come in. And in other countries and even in other areas in Jamaica, people are making significantly more money out of charging to watch that process than they're selling the meat for. In Aracabessa, there's a gentleman by the name of Mel Tennant who is getting about 10 US per guest from the resorts down there for people to come and watch turtle monitoring. In Tobago, it's another huge activity that's earning money, and we think it's something that could very easily turn a beach like Winifred into a very, very lucrative spot for nature tourism, where persons from the different resorts could come down, pay money to the locals. So this is not money that will be going back to the foreign owners. Pay the money to the locals and just watch the turtles come up. And it's something that works. They're doing it in Aracabessa. They're starting to do it in St. Elizabeth. And we can do it in Portland.
What is stopping us from doing it in Portland?
The will. We have done the beach that worked best for us, unfortunately, was Frenchman's Cove. And that was because they're all fenced off and have their guards.
Mm-hmm.
It was a major challenge in Winifred. We've been trying to get people to see the bigger picture. To see, so let's do this for a year so we know what is happening on our beach. And once we've done it for a year, all we ask for is 1 year. Once we've done it for 1 year, the next year we can pretty much work out a schedule of when the turtles will be nesting. And once we have done that, we can say to the guests with relatively and be relatively comfortable that we're accurate. If you come today between these hours, you'll see a turtle nesting, and persons will pay for that. I've taken a number of persons to see the hatchlings going out, and it was one of the greatest experience for them. So just give us a year, stop the poaching for 1 year so we can establish a pattern, and then we can start this and get it up and running.
But by doing this, doesn't this stop the poaching?
It does, and they're making money from the poaching either by selling the meat or selling the jewelry, which is why it's so difficult to get the persons to stop, because the poachers know perhaps more than we do about the patterns of turtles. So if we go out to monitor, they know even our patterns. So they know when we're coming, they know when we leave, and as soon as we leave, they're back on the beach. And they know more about the turtles than we do, unfortunately.
But I do know that as someone who was involved heavily in the craft industry, that any jewelry or anything made from turtle shells is illegal. So I don't know. I mean, like, are people actually selling these things in the craft market?
I don't know about in the craft market, but I've heard other areas where they've been sold. One of the unfortunate things about this country is that the enforcement is not what it ought to be. So a lot of times persons are still able to get away with these activities. Even though it is relatively well known, there is no enforcement.
Yes, I know one of the things is that there are supposed to be litter wardens. I've never heard of anybody arrested yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have, believe it or not, audience, we have litter wardens in Jamaica that's supposed to arrest you when you throw garbage somewhere. I've never heard of somebody being... Did you know that, Cassidy? Yeah, there's a law in Jamaica. There's also a law in Jamaica about these men who pee on the light post. I don't know what they look like because all they do is put these things on the books and then you never hear anything more about it.
It was one of the major responsibilities of what was called the Blue Seam Police. Interestingly, one of their mandate was to enforce the Anti-Litter Act, and they should have been as vigorously as they were looking for people who were breaking traffic laws. They should have been doing the same for environmental laws. Unfortunately, that was never the case, and with the merger now, it has seemed to be lost in the process.
So it was a blue team that was supposed to.
They were supposed to be enforcing the environmental
But the only
laws.
thing that I ever saw them doing was, as you say, traffic. I guess because when you go to court, that pays more to the government.
I mean, unfortunately, I mean, it's very. I've been working for 15 years, and sometimes it gets very depressing. There are fines on the books. The problem is a lot of times when you go to court, the judge will issue the minimum fine. So, for example, we caught a gentleman with a turtle at one time, and while the maximum charge was, I think it went up to 100,000, he was probably charged 10,000 or something like that. So, a lot of times the judiciary are not particularly heavy on implementing environmental fines on persons. I guess it's not seen as something that is as important as the other offenses.
It amazes me because guess what? Only the judge probably don't even know the importance of the turtle. That is one of the problems. I just want to read a text here from Naomi that came in as Roots woman who always participates in the program. And she says, all plastics contain a generate known as, okay, somebody just calling in at the same time. Let me just deal with this. Yes, listener.
There.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
I sent a copy of my album to you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. This is, we're on air. Obviously, you're not listening. So we're dealing with something totally different here now. Wrong number. Okay, let me get back to that. I wish you could call in Root someone, but there you go. Can you pronounce that word there, Masha?
Yeah, it says all plastics contain and generate known carcinogens, and carcinogens are cancer, the agents that are responsible for cancer cells developing in the human body. The same with styrofoam, and she's saying especially when burned. So it's particularly harmful to burn plastics and styrofoam because then you're releasing the carcinogens, and persons are able to inhale them, and they are cancer-causing agents.
So, I mean, we see the seriousness of it, and this is all plastic. All plastic. I noticed that, did you know that in the African nation, Rwanda, they have banned plastic bags?
I did not know that, but that's something I applaud them for. I know that it's been done in small towns in the UK, but for an entire country to do it is something that they should be applauded
they have
for.
totally banned plastic bags. I know also, I think that there are some places in Canada at one point I'd heard. I didn't know if they were going to. I don't know if they actually did. I also know that there are some areas in India where they have banned the plastic bags.
It is something that's happening, and it's something that I think Port Antonio could take a lead on and look to perhaps eliminate the use of plastic bags some way, either through getting the supermarkets to go the route of a Price Mart and issue boxes to their customers or something. It's an initiative that we can start as a small town in Port Antonio, where we're supposed to be known as the green destination in Jamaica.
You know, that is always something that amuses me. We're advertised as the green destination, but average Joe or Jane in the street don't know that we're advertised as a green generation, so they just as a green destination, so they just throw their garbage anywhere because they're not included in the conversation.
That is true, and I mean, I understand the frustration of the locals, but I think sometimes we take some of the blame. I think sometimes we need to be more proactive and become more involved in many of these boards that you comment on. It would be great for me to see new blood, and I'd love if there was a way for more persons, particularly persons in and around the town, to find a way to become involved and become integrated in some of these boards. So attend the meetings and get persons on the boards who have your interest at heart and who you can walk up to and talk to and get this information from, to ensure that your views are heard, and more importantly, to ensure that you are aware of what's happening in your town.
What about volunteers from overseas?
We have consistently had a relationship with Peace Corps. So we've generally had an American volunteers at Pepper for a duration of 2 to 3 years. And normally that person would come with a college degree and they would help with the implementation of whatever projects that we're doing.
Those were Peace Corps people. What's happening with that?
What Peace Corps has been saying, though, is that Pepper, certainly for the 15 years that I was there, has consistently had a Peace Corps volunteer. So they're trying to spread that around and allowing other organizations to benefit from this experience. So we don't have a Peace Corps volunteer at the moment. But 4-H, which is an agency that we work closely with, currently has a Peace Corps volunteer.
Okay. Let's take a break and come back for a few minutes. It's currently 11:02.
Presently, you are listening to the spiritual vibrations with your host, Sista P. All tune in, including he, she, and the old lady. Styles FM to the world.
Bring out the family and honor your mothers, the heart of the home, at Hotel Tim Bamboo this Mother's Day, Sunday, May 10th. 2 shows featuring Pam Hall and Friends with full band from 12 noon to 5 p.m. for brunch and 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. for dinner. Say you care and treat her to 5-course dining, wine, champagne, roses, and other fine gifts courtesy of Hotel Tim Bamboo. Tickets are only $3,800 for adults. Call Hotel Tim Bamboo at 993-2049 or 317-7788.
FM presents Fan Fusion Party Episode 2. Retro Gunya, the deadliest retro music party event of the year. Saturday, July 11, 2015 at Bayview Villas. Waterfront property, Dolphin Bay, Port Antonio, Jamaica. Party starts at 7 sharp. Meet and hear your favorite Styles FM DJs. Playing 35 years of hits from the 70s to early 2000s. Admission $400 pre-sold, $500 at the gate. Listen to Styles FM for ticket outlets or contact 286-9216. Must be 18 years and older to enter. ID required. Drink responsibly.
Styles FM.
Architects, draftsmen, and surveyors, get your drawings printed in high-quality professional standards. We can satisfy your printing needs. Whether it is for presentation to your clients or for submitting building and subdivision application, make it VJ Printing Services. Whether drawing by hand or with computer-aided softwares, we will plot your negatives and print the copies as you need. We do high-quality white paper printing that is water-resistant and never fades, unlike traditional blueprint. For more information, call VJ Printing at 893-2266.
Remember Styles FM on social media. View us on YouTube, Styles FM Radio. Follow us on Instagram at Styles FM. Like us on Twitter at Styles FM 961. Become a fan on Facebook. Styles FM 96.1.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
Okay, Marshall, we need to light a fire now amongst this environmental thing, because there are lots of people out there who listen to this program who are Portlanders. And as I said before, Portland is, let me tell you something, in those glossy manuals and these glossy magazines and on the websites and everything, Portland is the place to be because it's green and it's lush and all of these things that they talk about. Yet still, the average person does not know that they're advertising Portland that way. So there are so many Portlanders out there and people, listeners to Styles and listeners to this program in particular, that somehow we need to get everybody motivated, you know, whether it's through when you come to Jamaica, volunteer your time, visit Pepper office, talk to Mashal, how can you help? Because sometimes it's not just always about money. Mashal, give your number again, please.
The numbers for the office again, 993-9632, and I'll give the email address again, which is peppa, P-E-P-A, .jamaica@gmail.com.
Because also, if it wasn't for Pepper, you wouldn't see no more of them parrots out there, you know. Because the people them capture the parrot and carry the go yard and think it is so funny for them to put the parrot in a cage. I hate to see a parrot in a cage, even though I always used to say one time it's the only bird I didn't mind seeing in a cage, because if you ever plant your crop and see what a parrot can do in 5 minutes, they totally destroy your crop. So one time I used to say, boy, the only bird I wouldn't mind seeing in a cage is a parrot. But I've come to understand and realize that there are some of these, they're endemic to Jamaica, and so we need to preserve them.
Yes, and it's particularly Portland. Portland and Trelawney generally the habitat for some of those parrots. In fact, there are a number of birds. I think there are 28 endemic birds in the country of Jamaica, and most of them can be seen in Portland, which is another, I think, underutilized potential tourism earner, is to go after bird watchers, which is a huge thing worldwide.
Oh yes, just Mockingbird Hill do that?
They used to do it. I'm not sure if they're all active. Their program still is.
You know, there are so many things in Portland. It's just that what happens is that the few people who like the things are the same people who have to keep doing everything. Because just as you say, turtle watching, I mean, medicinal herbs, big tourism. But everybody who gets into the wellness business is a whole different something. It's a whole big money something. So it's different. But, no, me know where my tongue, you know, it's a big thing now. Yes, so, but there are so many different things, you know, that people can do, and the creator knows that employment could be generated through some of these projects.
There are a number of project ideas out there that would generate employment. Plastic bottle recycling is one that would easily get persons involved, get a lot of community persons to get giving them an activity to do, and they could receive some money for collecting plastic bottles. The government has started their recycling thing. Unfortunately, Portland is not one of the pilot areas. So one thing that we could do is to lobby through a member of parliament to get Portland involved, get a depot established, and then through government private sector partnerships, get one of the business persons to put some funding in there, and then we could be paying persons to collect the plastic bottles.
Yes, the hypocrites them. No, they are advertising Portland as a green place. Yet still they have a recycling with bottles, and it's not Portland. Portland is not a part of it. This is how the thing is so disconnected. Sometimes I get so frustrated. The one man tell me the politician too much trouble. But how can you be advertising Portland and you're so proud of it as a green area in Jamaica? Yes, so you start a recycling thing and Portland is not. You have any idea why Portland is not one?
I don't. I know that the nearest depot is in St. Mary in Port Maria. I have my suspicions why I won't say them on here.
I want to tell you something though. One time I did call up and decided, I said, okay, well, I would start the plastic. When I heard, well, first of all, you need space.
You do, you need space.
Because the amount of bottles that make plastic bottles to make 1 liter, where at the time you probably got about $30 for it. You really need a lot of space for that. But it is something, it is a potential earner, and just one of the other things that can be done. Anyway, Michelle, thank you ever so much for coming in. I noticed that you did not give your personal number for people to contact you. You gave the number for Pepper.
It's an oversight. I can be contacted.
Because I can tell you that you have people that's here that will call you immediately, but they're not going to call Pepper. But they want to talk to you personally more about it.
The contact number for me, the cell phone is 384-4834. Let me repeat it. 384-4834.
Okay, thank you ever so much for coming in.
It's been my pleasure.
Sister P until the end of time. You're listening to Sister P on Styles and 96 FM. The spiritual vibration. Sister P on your dial every time. Spirituality.
Spiritual vibration with Sister P.
Of shields and bucklers and stand up for our hair. You see? When I see the S, it reminds me that there is but one God. When I see the deuce, it reminds me that the Bible is divided into two parts, the Old and New Testament. When I see the tree, it reminds me of the three dreadlocks descended from Jerusalem's school. When I see the fourth, by me of the four evangelists came from Zion. When I see the five, it reminds me of the 10 virgins. 5 were wise and 5 were foolish, and they were shut off. When I see the 6, it reminds me of 6 day God made this great heaven and earth. When I see the 7, it reminds me that God rested on the 7th day. When I see the 8, it reminds me of these righteous people saving Noah's Ark. There's Noah, his son, and their wife. You see? When I see the 9, it reminds me that were 10 of them. 9 of them give praises. When I see the 10, it reminds me of the 10 commandments God handed down to Moses on a table of stone. When I see the jack, it reminds me of the devil. When I see the queen, it reminds me of Queen Virgin Mary. When I see the king, it reminds me of the kings of kings, the lords of lords. Conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, light of this world, Jah, Rastafari. So I'm on deck of God of 365 spots, number of days in a year. 52 cards, the number of weeks in a year. 12 picture cards, the number of months in a year. So you see, I'm on deck of God, serve by man of the Bible, the prayer book, the hymn book, and the song book. So you don't steal I, Jah, Rastafari. Walk out the not in the counsel of the wicked, neither sit upon the seat of the scornful. That I and I shall not walk on the road nor the scornful. Did I and I shall not walk on the road nor the scornful. The road nor the scornful. King of kings and Lord of lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, light of this world.
Jesse, yeah, you're not the bravo. You want to see I'm gonna step it round this car, yeah, and get some peace, you know? They're not choose ready. Want them round knees. Let the people get some peace. Want them round ways. Not the important test. That is the best right now. Take them down so. Let them know what it's all about. Then only Babylon cannot get you home. That cannot get you home right now. Cannot get them home. Cannot get them home. That cannot get them home. Want them up north. Put them get them caught. That want them up north. We put them get them caught. Want them up north. We put Jaja cannot spawn them. Want them up north. Jaja people cannot spawn them up. Want them up north right now. Jaja, get on. Chicken and your bum and be on the run. You know, Jaja, keep on running, man. Keep on running round. 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 Just keep on running round. Yeah. Run them round the heat. Let the people kind of get some peace. Run them round way. Not to get the fucking bed. Jaja kind of go. Get those right now. Yeah, Jaja kind of get you, man. Want them down, want them before you spawn them. Want them before you kind of spawn them right now. Keep on wanting job before you spawn them. Keep on wanting job before you kind of spawn them right now. Jaja, keep on wanting right now. Keep on wanting job. Keep on wanting right now. Want them round east. Want them round east. Let them get some peace. Want them round west. Not the bottom best. Want them round west. Jaja is the best. Want them down south. Let the people know what is on the board. Take it down again. What is on the board. Don't be what is on the board. Want them round town. Don't let Babylon get you out. Get on. Want them up north. We put them kind of getting caught. Jaja want them, Jaja want them. Jaja want them, we put them kind of spawn them. Get on. Jaja want them, Jaja want them. Jaja want him then, Jaja kind of want him then. Jaja want him then, Jaja kind of want him then. You're not the Jesse, when you're a stupid player. You're not the Bravo, you want to see I'm gonna step it round this car guy and get some peace, you know? They're not choose ready. Want them round me. Let the people get some peace. Want them round way.
with the car, them gone with the car. Which part? The man don't even got that jersey to the passport and out of the pound there. Big gosh.
Yeah, the numbers to participate in the program is by calling or texting is 453-1444.
with Sister P.
Hear the drums of Bunga Herman in the background. Let me tell you something. See, Bunga Herman, every year that man want to play on Privison thing. You have to tell him, man, this Bunga Herman, the people them can't see it every year. Bunga Herman say, yes, they want to see me every year. That's Bunga Herman.
to spiritual vibration with Sister P.
The approaching lunchtime signal is brought to you by Zilla's Kitchen. Located at Bridge Street, Port Antonio, they're open 24/7. Call and place your order at 453-6030. That's 453-6030. The time by Zilla's Kitchen is
11:30.
Do you have or are you seeking a place to rent, seeking employment or have a job vacancy? Are you selling a car or having a garage sale? Then come see us. Let Styles do the advertising for you and you'll be on your way in no time. Contact us at 876-286-9216 or 439-5160. Advertising Style. Advertise with Styles.
You ready? D2 ready. We ready? Me ready. D2 ready. You ready? Portland ready. Zabrika represent for D2 Panasat. The old school to new music. Panasat the taxi man, the bus man, the lady we own the shop say. Styles FM them a listen Panasat. The Crown Prince a play and the place him a shell it. Turn on the radio. Granny me a tell it. Ladies D2 hour that 11 to 12. When Crown Prince a play, girls a wind up themselves. Each and every Saturday, 8 to 12 midnight. Them for know say Crown Prince pan Styles FM Shelly. Bam, bam, bam.
Take us to work. Take us on the go. Take us wherever you go. Styles FM.
Take Styles FM with you on the go. The number for USA 213-992-4360. That's 213-992-4360. And for the United Kingdom, 033-0010-3322. That's 033-0010-3322.
Styles FM.
Architects, draftsmen, and surveyors, get your drawings printed in high-quality professional standards. We can satisfy your printing needs. Whether it is for presentation to your clients or for submitting building and subdivision application, make it VJ Printing Services. Whether drawing by hand or with computer-aided softwares, we will plot your negatives and print the copies as you need. We do high-quality white paper printing that is water-resistant and never fades, unlike traditional blueprint. For more information, call VJ Printing at 893-2266.
Presently, you are listening to the spiritual vibrations with your host, Sista P. All tune in, including he, she, and the old lady. Styles FM to the world.
It's a survivalist represented for Sister P with the spiritual vibration, feeding the nation with righteous education. Feed them, Sister P, feed them, cause them are starved.
Okay, this is Hotel Timbambo's Mother's Day brunch and dinner, which will be on Sunday, May 10th, 2015. Brunch time will be 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and dinner time will be 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. There will be Pam Hall and Friends will be live in concert. So there will be 2 shows. Admission is $3,800. And of course, Tim Bamboo is saying, enjoy live entertainment. It will be a 5-course menu. Free rose for the first 30 mothers, a complimentary glass of wine or champagne for mothers. Prizes and surprises. You may contact Tim Bamboo for reservations at 993-2049. That's 993-2049. And this is for Tim Bamboo's Mother's Day brunch and dinner.
Here, Star, the man in my right.
Side.
I'm on site, the man, I hear the man I play Toby's hi-fi more time. The man sound hard in a Star.
Yeah, well, King Toby's I want sound a real while, me I tell you, you know, you. Yeah, you know.
I'm gonna beg the man at 10 cents, you know.
10 cents.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna buy a stick oil, you know.
But right now, I'm gonna support that, you know, but if it's food, I'm gonna give food for that. Yes, sir.
I love you. Still forward more time, yeah.
Love you.
This is the kind of lesson you got to learn. Standing on the corner with these wheel of the brave. A winner sees no better than a slave. I'm begging each and every day. You got to hear what I say and leave the corner and run away. A literacy program is designed to open your mind, so you can be literate and get a job and feel so fine. Instead of begging on the corner every day, you hear what the brother said. People of low mentality will never get around to equality. Equality and justice stands for all who know that Satan's kingdom must fall. In a time appointed, our reign and hurt begun. I come to break oppression and set the captives free, so you got to understand. I come to rule the musical nation with justice and equality. So black man, you got to be free like a bird in a tree. And live in love and unity for I die. Maybe you can make it if you try. It's a black man time. And it's a black man time. And it's a black man time. Just keep on flipping, dipper down the line. So this a black man time. So this a black man time. You move and feel fine. You keep on drinking up your wine until you. It's a black man time. Standing on the corner each and every day. Not even thinking to go around and play. Standing on the corner giving trouble. But when the Babylon they come, you got to move on the double. Got to learn to communicate and stick around and see your brother that you got to be great. And see you got to hold your little slave and keep on moving from your gate. For this a black man time. For this a black man time. You walk and slip and slide down the line. You move and feel so very fine. The bigger you. Who don't just stress, scratch or simple side. A music make you gotta move for the sky. Well, sometimes when I get ready to put this program together, there's so much things going on that, boy,
you don't know which one, but since I know that I'm going to be starting with Marcus Garvey, there's something that I want to do this week because I think it's very important. It came up to me. I was watching international news, and in Israel, you know, there were Ethiopian Jews that actually went to Israel. And some of them joined the Israeli army. And quite recently, was I think this week, early this week or about last weekend, because the days go so fast, the police actually beat up one of these Israeli Jews, one of these Ethiopian Jews that had joined the Israeli army. The police just beat him up, beat him to a pulp. And so I thought it very important to bring to the attention, because as we know, knowledge is power. Without knowledge, we are powerless. So I wanted to give a little history on the Ethiopian Jews, which some people refer to as the Falashers, and I'm not quite sure that that is a very positive name, but they're better known as Beta Israel. They have had a very hard time because one of the people that fought them the most was actually Christian kings of Ethiopia. So, you know, it's always this religious warfare going on. It's either the Christians against the Jews or the Jews against whoever, and then the Muslims against everybody else. It's just always. So throughout history, these Ethiopian Jews, they have been referred to by different names. They're known as Ethiopian Jews. They're known as Beta Israel. They're also known as Falashas. They actually lived in north and northwestern Ethiopia in more than 500 small villages. They lived among populations that were Muslim and Christian. You know, these people are claimed to be descendants of the Solomonic dynasty. They have as much rights in Israel as those other people who call themselves Israelites or whatever. It wasn't until the 20th century, later part of the 20th century, that these Ethiopian Jews started making contacts with other Jewish communities. One of the things that I found interesting is that when they had the vote in the partitioning of, well, I don't have to go to that particular period. In 1947, Ethiopia abstained in the United Nations vote for the partition of the British Mandate of Palestine. That's still a sore issue with me. So, give you a little time thing here. The Solomonic dynasty, which claims descent from Solomon and Sheba, assumes control of Ethiopia. But during the next 300 years, wars were fought between the Christian kings of Ethiopia and the kings of Beta Israel, which actually ended up with Beta Israel, let's call it Ethiopian Jews. They lost their independence. But earlier in the 9th century, which seems to be the earliest reference to the Ethiopian Jews, it appears in the diary of a merchant and a traveler claiming to have been a citizen of a Jewish state in Eastern Africa, which was inhabited by the tribes of Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. So we know that these particular tribes were part of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's if you believe that story. So it is also said, let me go further down, that these Ethiopian Jews are actually from the tribe of Dan. In other words, the Jews who came from the land of Cush, which is Ethiopia, are without a doubt the tribe of Dan. And these Jews, they're fully Jewish. In 1622, the Christians conquered the Ethiopian Jewish kingdom. The Jews are sold as slaves. They're forced to baptize to Christianity. And then they are denied the right to own land. So I don't understand this religious business, because on one hand they're trying to say that they're peaceful, yet still, but they sold the Jews of Ethiopia into slavery, just like what they did with Africans. And then just like what they did with Africans, they forced these Ethiopian Jews to baptize. And once again, they denied the right to own land. Between 1977 and 1984, approximately 8,000 Ethiopian Jews are taken to Israel. So basically, these people went to Israel and thought that because they're Jewish and they're going to a Jewish state, that they would be safe. No. They have faced racial discrimination, and they have been asked to convert to Orthodox Judaism. Yet still, many of them, their children, because this is a pretty long time, were born in Israel. They still have dietary laws. And their dietary laws are based mainly on the Bible books of Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and what is this, Jubilees? I don't know. They have a book in the Bible. Name so. They're permitted and forbidden animals, and their signs appear in Leviticus. They have forbidden birds, permitted fish, which I'm sure that they are not allowed to eat shellfish, and insects are forbidden. So they really go by strict dietary laws. And Ethiopian Jews were forbidden to eat the food of non-Jews. And if you broke these rules, you had to undergo a purification process. And that process included fasting for 1 or more days before you were able to go back into the village. So these people have just a right, the same right. But I will say that the Prime Minister of Israel, Mr. Netanyahu, did invite this soldier to come to see him, and I think he actually apologized to him. There are all kinds of oral traditions around the Ethiopian Jews. And but the most known version is of the Ethiopian legend of origin, which they take as their basis, the account of Menelik's return to Ethiopia. And Menelik is considered the first Solomonic emperor of Ethiopia. And he is traditionally believed to be the son of King Solomon of ancient Israel and Makeda, ancient queen of Egypt. So by versions, the Ethiopian Jews expressed their wish to be regarded not necessarily as descendants of King Solomon, but as contemporaries of Solomon and Menelik, originating from the kingdom of Israel. So I hope that you know a little bit more about, so much information, but time will not let me do that. So I just have to go with what the time allows me to do. So as I said before, the number to participate, 453-1444. And if you're in the USA or in Canada, the number is area code 954-338-7973. But it's a shame that these people who actually, their history is coming from so far back, and to actually be living in the state of Israel and to be discriminated against. The same police brutality. But then we have to remember that the state of Israel, when there was always the vote of dismantling apartheid in South Africa, they, along with the United States, always abstained. So you can call them cousins. So it's not the same thing that they do in America to people of African descent. It's long known that the state of Israel discriminates against people of African descent. In fact, they don't even want to give them citizenship over there. So, I don't know. This whole thing about Israel, I'm sorry. When I watched and really saw this whole thing about going into Palestine, taking over the people's land and chasing them out, it did break my heart at the time. And I still cannot come to grips with it. Can't come to grips, because I said to myself, if anybody was to come into Jamaica and decide that they're going to take over Portland and we live in here, were we just going to sit here and just take it like that? You ask yourself the question. You were just going to sit down and make the people take over the place, so? And then run you off of your land? I don't think so. Touchy issue. But it needs a lot more time than this. But due to the fact that this Ethiopian Jew who went to Israel, joined the Israeli army, and in his uniform is beat up by Israeli policemen says a lot about Israel.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
This is the inspirational moment on Styles FM.
More and more I will depend for energy upon the limitless supply of the inner source of cosmic consciousness, and less upon outer sources of body energy.
That was the inspirational moment on Styles FM.
Mr. Brown, the work material done, you know. What me fi do?
Check Robinsons and Sons Hardware, man. Them have everything you need and more. They are at 18 West Palm Avenue, Port Antonio, Portland. Paints, nails, doors, everything to meet your hardware needs and much more. Call them at 993-9763 or 382-6209 and email them at sandarhardware@gmail.com.
Mr. Brown, me get everything we need quick and fast. Sure, maybe we could have just stopped the chatting so we could have done the work just as fast.
What was that, Johnny?
No, man. We just say Robinson and Son are going good.
Robinsons and Sons Hardware. We are always here to serve you.
Notice hereby given that the annual general meeting of the Portland Cooperative Credit Union will be held at the Old Marina, West Palm Avenue, Port Antonio on Thursday, May 7th, beginning at 2:30 p.m. Registration 1 p.m. Dinner will be served from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Transportation will be provided to and from the Buffalo Valley. Make every effort to attend. Lots of prizes and surprises.
This Sunday for the very first time at the Ocean View Restaurant and Lounge, it's the Mother's Day special. This one takes place at the Ocean View Restaurant and Lounge at the Errol Flynn Marina, Port Antonio, Portland. There will be set menus and complimentary soft drinks for mothers. It's only $1,000. So call now to book your table at 565-2332. That's 565-2332. It will be a Mother's Day treat like never before.
The JCBC presents Miss Portland Festival Queen Coronation Show on Saturday, May 16, 2015 at the Port Antonio High School Auditorium beginning at 8 p.m. Admission, adults $600 pre-sold, $800 at the gate. Children under 12, $200. Ticket outlets, Braham's Texaco Service Station and the JCBC Portland office. Main sponsors include Mayor Wayne McKenzie, Councillor Dexter Rowland, Find Value, Braham's Texaco Service Station, Hotel Timbambo, and Portland Cooperative Credit Union. Come out and support your cultural ambassador.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
tribe of Israel. We all gonna sing the same song. We all gonna jam the same jam. We all gonna chop the same chop. Chop. So if you all give fuss and fight, you're giving hypocrites the right to say that you can't unite. My God, unify. I know we're all gonna sing the same song. We all gonna jam the same jam. Jamming. We all gonna chop the same chop. Take us out of our homeland. Take us down here in Babylon. You wanted us to sing it that same song. You wanted us to sing it that same song. You wanted us to sing it that same song. And I know we're gonna sing the same song. We all gonna jam the same jam. We all gonna chop the same chop. So if you argue, fuss and fight, you're giving hypocrites the right to say that we can't unite. My God, I know unify. Oh, we all gonna sing the same song. We all gonna jam the same jam. We all gonna chop the same chop. Chop. We all gonna chop the same chop. We all gonna jam the same jam. We all gonna sing the same song. Oh yo, oh yo, yo, yo. We all gonna sing the same song. We all gonna sing the same song. We all gonna sing the same song. Oh, whether you're a bubble or whether you're an orthodox, or whether you're a Binginati J, or whether you're a 12 tribe of Israel, we all gonna sing the same song. We all gonna jam the same jam. We all gonna chop the same chop. Chop. So if you argue, fuss and fight, you're giving hypocrites the right to say that you can't unite. My God, unify. I know we're all gonna sing the same song. Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Greetings, Sister P.
Yeah, I know, sir. Yeah, we had to reset the phone, that international phone. Yes, Chris,
Okay.
well, go on.
Yeah, Yeah, me just want to comment on the Ethiopian Jews things. I read it in the paper first week, and it makes me think of way like is this a worldwide situation for the black race? Because when we look for now, them are killing black people in every state in America, not just Eric Garner and the other youth them, but this happening in Israel too. And then when you look down Africa, you have Boko Haram, which is also some black people, and down in Egypt, them are PH people. And mostly dark color people and black people, them are killed. So it makes me wonder if it's a worldwide effort for them plan this thing here.
Sometimes you wonder if Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab, sometimes you wonder really who funding those organizations. You have to wonder because them have a whole heap of arms, them have a whole heap of something. So is it another thing of where, like during the time of the transatlantic slave routes, that you had some of the Africans, especially the Ashanti, who were absolutely a part of it. So you really wonder if somebody is funding these people because them can't just get up and kill off them own people like that.
So, me I wonder now, Sister P, what them next move, if them are going to try go in Ethiopia and take it over, because I see them kind of have Eritrea way still.
Well,
I wonder if that...
We don't know because the Chinese is in Ethiopia very, very heavy. Very, very heavy. But I'm sure that nobody really expected me to take up that that story with that Ethiopian Jew that was beat up so badly by the police in Israel. But see, when I see these things, you know, sometimes we have some other things that I want to talk about, but when I see those things come up, I have to talk about them. So I'm glad so you pick up on it too and realize, I want to serious something.
Yes, it make me think, you know, say, yo, it's like, it no matter who you are or what level of education you have or what height you reach in a life. Here goes a man who served the country of Israel in a uniform.
Yes.
Military uniform,
yes.
Where them all higher than any other uniform in them country. And them are going to get beat up like that. It's like, yo, no matter who you are, nobody feel like that you have your bachelor of arts or you're a nurse or a doctor or a politician. Yo, you're still black.
Well, it's really coming down to that, and look at that. Because look at that. Because the whole of them is Jew. The whole of them is Jew same way. And them beat him up just because he's a Jew, but he is not one of their Jews, one of them that look like them. So them beat him up same way. Yeah. All right, Chris, give thanks.
Yes, Sister P, I'll call you back again because I'm kind of working now. But I just want to hear that still because really I worry about the future of our people.
You mean we are becoming an endangered species?
Yeah, that may I think, you know.
Well, I guess that is what the whole thing about integration is supposed to be, to make us an endangered species. But I know, Lord have mercy, they might take me on, but it's all right. Take care, Chris.
All right, please.
Yes, it is.
So if you argue, fuss and fight, that's not right. You leave it. We all gonna jam the same jam. We all gonna sing the same song.
What you don't like for yourself, don't give it. You with your ego, gluttonous or greedy, won't achieve it. Telling your people that you care, when you are in just for the share. Oh, we say, boy, them blasphemers, their plan is to destroy you. You watch them blasphemers, falling angels, them hypnotize you, yeah. Oh, they just want to be the leader, yeah. Divide, confuse the reader, yeah. Having a form of godliness on the outside, but they are full of wickedness on the inside. Boy, them blasphemers, their plan is to destroy you, yeah. You watch them blasphemers, falling angels, them hypnotize you. Oh, say them can fool some people summertime, yeah. But they can't fool your people in this time, no, no. But you, we know your love is right, yeah. Children stand up in July. Oh, fallen angel in the garden to make you go wrong, yeah. A hypocrite is in the garden, it won't be for long. Fallen angel in the garden to make you go wrong, yeah. A hypocrite is in the garden playing con man. Oh, they don't care who they trample, yeah. They are the worst example. They just want to reach the top. They don't care about the flock. Oh no, me say, oh, them blasphemers, their plan is to destroy you, yeah. You watch them blasphemers, falling angels, them hypnotize you, yeah. Oh, they creep into your area, yeah, with their devilish behavior, yeah. Poisoning the mind of your children, yeah. Destructive force, Jah will diffuse them. Me say, boy, them blasphemers, their plan is to destroy you, yeah.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
Falling angels, them hypnotize you, yeah. I may say, ho, 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 them blasphemers, falling angels, them hypnotize
we have to get our shit. Cause it what it will. We have to reach and top the hill. Don't be there, standing still. It's not the time to chill. And if we don't reach there, it means we're lacking something still. So you see.
Yeah, greetings, Richie.
Yeah, man, bless them, love, Sister P.
Yeah, I know you want to talk about the bird shooting.
Yeah, me just want to block a little point, you know?
Yes.
With the environmental people pertaining to this bird shooting season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some would have want to know who could have given one permission to shoot bird, you know? You see, at the same time, the normal citizens, the privilege will go for them because I'm going to have a shotgun to carry out such, you know, thing.
And
so within the circumstances, you know, when I want to carry out them out there, there's a whole heap of bird get damaged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when them fire them pellets there, within a flock, they might get 1 or 2 type, but 6 or 7 or 8. You can't count the number of them where get damaged from other pellets, where them die still. You know, because enough we find on the way going to our farm, you know, they get damaged.
Well, I remember there was a time.
I look at them, what try to pick them up, you them all, and we don't find them one neither.
And you know, but you know, Richard, there was a time when Portland was trying to fight to get rid of this whole bird shooting business.
Yes.
So I don't know is what happened. That look like it just collapsed, it fall down.
Politics, man. I mean, I hold my mouth a gun on top.
Well, you know, so me now hold back my mouth neither. Because enough big man, this whole bird shooting thing is not the poor people business, you know, because as you say, a poorest man, they cannot get a shotgun.
No, mama. You understand? So this thing, this season bird shooting thing, it go for with the elite, it go for the poor people.
Yes.
A man within catapult, how much damage he can do.
But them,
who amount of bird out there?
Well, look at that. Look at that. That's
and
a whole big argument.
Have a regulation. You're supposed to shoot certain amount of bird in the morning, a certain amount of bird in the evening. Yet still have no one to monitor that.
But this whole,
I understand.
I'm going to share with you, Richie. You know, so 1 year, I go Africa and I come back. And when I come back, at the time I was living up in the hills. And I wake up the sun in the morning and I hear nothing but gunshot. And I run, go under the bed, go hide. Because...
You think so a gunman will come rob you?
Yeah, I think it was a whole thing. And then all of a sudden it's like me remember says bird shooting thing. And I always had the thing because it always seemed to me that the bird shooting can go on in a full community and we're not supposed to say nothing about it. We can have gunshots there. But if we was to go to their community and fire a gun, it would be a serious problem.
A serious thing. I mean, another little thing when I say, Mama, you have people who say them at work with the environmental people and protection, wildlife. In my community, me I talk about.
Yes.
You understand? Me know certified people. And them same guys that get the privilege to come shoot bird, them come shoot bird half season. Not when these environmental people get it go ahead.
Look at that.
You know, see it. And I see them dead and hear all these gunshots, you know, because what them do, you know. It's a political thing, you know, who control the sound system in the area. I go play the music of these guys, the gunshots, so, you know. It's not so loud up in the community, everybody can hear it, you know. But them same one who supposed to protect that, them know and they don't hear all these things that is going on. And just sit there because them get to them cut of money. You understand? So the thing I right down back to that. Environmental people, the corruption in our own man. You understand? And these people, if you take up a role like that, you have to take up a universal role and know it's a humanity thing. We are dealing with a life thing. No partiality whatsoever, whether you have money or money not. You understand?
Yes, like Marshall, you know.
The man with the money can come in and kill, but the man will try to make a little hustling off of the natural nature things. The environmental people, they will fight down them people there. To the ground, they will fight them down.
Anybody, yeah, it's almost like you have to be a part of this, of the green and,
Yes,
and
you
the
have to
red
be up
party.
there in the elite.
Yeah, and you have to
You
be a member.
understand? Once you're not up there, you can't be in this club.
Yes, but I have to say on Marshall behalf that him way down the line in terms of this environment business. Him is just him down the line because
he can only do film part.
Him can only do film part. The bigger heads, man.
Everything, if you're in a collective thing, it not gonna work out.
Because when I hear the people them that is on the board and that thing, I wonder to myself at which point. So which part the people them are like from my community? Which part them they give thanks roots someone upon it. We can open up. I mean, say she listen. I mean, say anything where you have to say about them birds. Me say she agree with you what you are say. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a thing where we want venture long time when we are to want venture. We give thanks to the moment right here in the space so we can venture this out here.
Give thanks for styles. Give thanks for styles, Richie. Give thanks for styles. That's why I'm always have to give thanks for styles. As is.
Yeah, man. Bless.
As is.
Fighting soldiers, soldiers of the army. Won't you come and join me? Come and fight this battle with me. Let us set our captive free. Freedom, liberation. Set our captive free. From all misery. Set our captive free. Fighting soldiers. From the army, tell me, are you ready? Fighting soldier, fighting soldier, fighting soldier. Tell me, are you ready? Set up captive. Whoa, fighting soldier. From the army, freedom, liberation.
Israel Vibration, but I tell you, this group is really a forgotten group in Jamaica. And I had the privilege of being in Italy at a very big, like a big reggae concert with like 80,000 people. And you should have seen the line. You should have seen the line for the night when them was on. It was a 1-week festival. And you should have seen the line when them was on for all people line up to come see Israel Vibration. What respect do they get in Jamaica? Absolutely none. Them are nobody here, so. But them give thanks. These people is smutty outside of Jamaica.
still about here. Come and fight this battle with me, because we have to get our shit. Cause it's what it will. We have to reach and top the hill. Don't be there standing still. It's not the time to chill. And if we don't reach there, it means we're lacking something still. So you see, evil itch up in a corner with them bad penetration. All day long, evil was also appointed.
Sister P unto the end of time. You're listening to Sister P on Styles and 96 FM. The spiritual vibration. Sister P on your dial every time. Spirituality.
On May 15, Better Wheels have Turn Up the Vibes in Port Antonio. It's our Customer Appreciation Day and grand draw of Ride to the East promotion. One lucky customer will ride off on a 2015 motorbike or get 50 grand worth of quality parts from Better Wheels Parts Depot. Call BWM Portland at 405-8338. Live radio broadcast on May 15. This is your Better Wheels Customer Appreciation Day, Portland, Port Antonio, May 15. Better Wheels Parts Depot.
FM 96.1, even 96.7 FM, you don't know the thing, go. Every Thursday, 5 to 9 p.m., you don't know the thing, pull up, I want them, and I see them, I roll the case, and I slow on them.
Builders Depot, everybody go a Builders Depot. Portland #1 hardware, that's a Builders Depot. You want to fix up your yard? Builders. You could be living abroad. Builders. Hurricane season come. Builders. To make your roof blow down. Builders. We have the best pricing. Builders. And the best parking. Builders. Harbor Dash we are waiting. And we are carrying the swing.
Builders Depot, right at Industrial Estate Longwall in Barnes Bay. I call them at 715-3128 or 284-3337. Check them out.
Remember Styles FM on social media. View us on YouTube, Styles FM Radio. Follow us on Instagram at Styles FM. Like us on Twitter at Styles FM 961. Become a fan on Facebook, Styles FM 96.1.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
Now I say he that keepeth his mouth, you know, they shall belong God. Don't believe you, you're wicked.
Sometimes it's hard to catch up with the text, but just to say that from Roots Among, the responsibility for the way police treat citizens also goes all the way to the top of the superiors. Yeah, because obviously, if a constable was afraid that he was going to get into problem, you wouldn't do it. And it's late, but this is in response to what I was saying earlier about police draping up people. Big man, police are going to drape them up like them a picnic. Eh? Police can drape up big man like say, them grandfather drape them up like them a picnic. Can't work. Unacceptable.
Your mouth never eats, no sleep, no slumber. So me know you is a Peter Plunder. Come like in a fear the man when roll the thunder. Never so me feature class 32 teeth asunder. Your mouth I got put you in a problem. Deep problem. And nobody never tell my word.
Tonight, D.C. residents 21 and over can legally possess up to 2 ounces of marijuana. Is now fully legal to smoke for fun, quote, recreationally.
Follow me now. Hey, follow me now. Hey, Kuyana. I want to know, hey, what's the story? Is it for real now? Tell me, did they really legalize the weed now? Is it still an offense to plant a tree now? Oh, I just really want to get some clarity now. So tell me what's the story? Oh, is it free now? Can I really wanna split for DC now? Tell me, can I light up on before a DC now? What's gonna happen if them catch you with a leaf? Now you wanna know them label and them stereotype and stigmatize. Them love to criticize and they marginalize. But it's dealing of the nation. Finally they realize, so sense me and legalize. OJ Camilla Peter Tosh, them shoulda be alive. Bob Marley shoulda see this day materialize. When all you light up a chalice and you can't get penalized. Cause sense me and legalize. Hey, follow me. No one was watching CNN when it announced. They said that it's legal but depends on the amount. You within regulation if you have a couple ounce. But a straight jail ounce if they hold you with a pound. Illegal on the street but illegal in your home. Legal on the plane as long as it's in your dome. And same time Rasta Brethren call me on the phone. Say if him free no be light up him chalice in a room. Because him know them label and them stereotype and stigmatize. Oh, them love to criticize and they marginalize. Tell me what do they really mean by decriminalize? I choose a sense of mean and legalize. Hey, follow me. Oh, they come in la Peter Tosh, them shoulda be alive. Hey, Sugar Miner shoulda see this day materialize. When you can puff all your chalice for LA and don't get penalized. Cause sense of mean and legalize. Hey, watch them. How them so poor with want to know for sure. They don't want to guess. When them book them vacation out to escape from the stress. And them chilling out on the grill. High speed from the west. Them say can they run this stress without fear of an arrest. And next thing, what's gonna happen now that they change the laws? Will they drop all pre-existing marijuana charge? And some people ask them simply change up some of the class. Them send 2 ounces extra small and them burn extra large. So what's the story? How is it free now? Tell me, did they really legalize the weed now? How is it still an offense to plant a tree now? I'm just really trying to get some clarity now. So tell me what's the story? Is it for real now? can I really burn a spliff at DC now? Tell me, can I light up on before a DC now? Hey, I'm just really trying to get some clarity. I ever know them label and them stereotype and stigmatize. Them love to criticize and they marginalize, but it's stealing of the nation. Finally they realize the sense of mean and legalize. Hey, follow me. Oh, Jacob Miller, Peter Tosh, them should have be alive. Bob Marley should have seen this day materialize. When all you light up a chalice and you can't get penalized, cause sense of mean and legalize. Hey, follow me.
Yeah. Me have the weed in my brain.
British link.
Just like how me have the beat in my name. Just like how me have the blood in my veins. Some planted like a sugar cane. Yeah. What that for? I feel stamina, make you take me one job. I'm marijuana. Listen, no give me no phone, no crack, cause me no dirty. Who no feel low sense to me, yeah, man, a crackhead. What that for? I feel stamina, make you take me one job. I'm marijuana. Listen, no give me no phone, no crack, cause me no dirty. Who no feel low sense to me, yeah, man, a crackhead.
Well, let's say good afternoon to my brethren back from Swift River, who I have to say did teach me about rhythm. Give thanks, Becca.
My needs be about 100 acres and a farming rights. And not to worry about Babylon where you chop on light. Me not tell you step for burn it if your head top light. Put a ganja free me up and make me function right. What that for? I feel stamina, make you take me one job. I'm marijuana. Listen, no give me no corner crack, cause me no dirty. Who no feel low sense to me, yeah, man, a crackhead. What that for? I feel stamina, make you take me one job. I'm marijuana. Listen, no give me no corner crack, cause me no dirty. Who no feel low sense to me, yeah, man, a crackhead. Tell Babylon anytime them ready, the rasta ready for drama. Me sing this with the farmer while you planted like banana. When Christmas come, tell Santa give me some weed, don't give me no llama. Got tell it to Portia Simpson, tell it to President Obama. That's where your cigarette and that ganja fi replace. So every store for you sell it in a them glass case. Do you agree? In the whole world ganja for bun free. Chalice a blaze up in the middle of halfway tree. Europeans take a jar with me. That yard man a free. Yeah, what that for? I feel stamina, make you take me one job. I'm marijuana. Listen, no give me no corner crack, cause me no dirty. Who no feel low sense to me, yeah, man a crackhead. What that for? I feel stamina, make you take me one job. I'm marijuana. Listen, no give me no corner crack, cause me no dirty. Who no feel low the sense to me, yeah, man a crackhead. What that for? I feel stamina, make you take me one job. I'm marijuana. Listen, no give me no corner crack, cause me no dirty.
I also like to give a shout out to Bumba. I know a long time in a treat and a good one in a lucky doobie. But you know how we go. I can't do the same thing all the time. But soon come.
Listen, no give me no corner crack, cause me no dirty. Who no feel low the sense to me, yeah, man a crackhead.
Good afternoon, listener.
Yes, Sister P. Good evening.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Boom, my class, man.
Yeah, man. You know, hear me apologize to you.
Yeah, man. We hear you, man. We hear you.
But I hope you're happy same way.
Yes, man. We're there, man. We're there to go and take you. You know, I'm in all left class, man.
Okay. All right.
All right, Sister P. Respect. Yeah, man.
I rise both, yeah, we
to mingle with the people. Go to the prison, mingle with the prisoners, be with the blind and unfortunate, and the people who are on the street dirty.
Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
Just like me, you know.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
Hey, listen to what Empress Man has say. We're blessed to be in the beautiful parish of Portland, and we have river and all kind of something. You did hear it, Preston? You did listen to what she talk about? Special good morning and a blessed, no, not good morning, good afternoon to Swift River. I know my brethren and sister over in Miss Bennett, Post Office, Marcia. I appeal now, Pauline, my namesake, all Swift River people. And then if you're proud of Empress Man, I make Cassidy started all over again. And you hear how she talk about. And to all of you out there who love Portland, this is a real thing for Portland. Start it up again from there, Cassidy.
One more time. Even though we poor, we still live some good life. Not true. I am blessed to be born in the beautiful parish of Portland, land of water. Yeah, the country is where I'm from. I am blessed to be born amongst the trees and the rivers and the mountains. Mango, give them apple and jelly water. And them the things we live on. What? Nothing can compare to back in the days when we used to walk on. Yeah, nothing can compare to back in the days when the drum is blowing in the air. Nothing can compare to back in the days when we used to walk on. Yeah, nothing can compare to back in the days when the drum is blowing in the air. Even though we poor, we never watch that. We dig ground food and put in a the pot. Everybody just satisfied with that. Little more we gone in a river and splash. We know what the poorness, we never watch that. We just give thanks for the little where we got. Mama and Papa try hard to provide. Loving how we are, that's why we have this pride. Nothing can compare to back in the days when we used to walk on. Yeah, nothing can compare to back in the days when the drum is blowing in the air. Nothing can compare to back in the days when we used to walk on. Yeah, nothing can compare to back in the days when the drum is blowing in the air. Everybody nice when Ajax turn on. Everybody gathering right in a land. The music it and we feel no pain. Music is that thing we run right through within. Crossroad Chelsea, even Zeppelin. Swift River give them the great healing. Healing of the mind, heart, body and soul. Little paradise in the land of the sun. Nothing can compare to back in the days when we used to walk on. Yeah, nothing can compare to back in the days when the drum is blowing in the air. Nothing can compare to back in the days when we used to walk on. Yeah, nothing can compare to back in the days when the drum is blowing in the air. Blowing in the air. Nothing can compare. No. Even though we poor, we still live some good life. Hear me. Empress might not said that.
Well, give thanks for making it the Spiritual Vibrations program. Cassidy, once again, I give thanks to you. I'd also like to give thanks to Marshall for coming in and telling us a little about the Portland Environmental Protection Agency. I'd like to give thanks to all of you who participated. I particularly give thanks to Styles for allowing me to be myself. I can't be anybody else, but be myself. I hope you have a positive, productive, peaceful, blessed, and a healthy week. Yes, healthy, of course. I'd like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, since I will not be here after today. Yes, I will be here after today, but not for Sunday. My name is Sister P. I hope I also please the ancestors. They're very important. Those who came before, those who survived the middle passage from the trip, the brutal passage from the British and the Spanish, and all of them.